you're not a healthcare expert, you're not a legal expert, but you are a business expert, and you come at this from a little bit of a different perspective. These are questions that employers are considering right now, and you say that there's even deeper implications with some of these things. What do you think when workplaces start thinking about what they ask of their employees and how far they can dig into this?
Thanks, Becky. These are great questions. It's really a dilemma that I think a lot of employers and employees are facing around whether to ask their employees to get vaccinated, whether to ask them to reveal whether they've been vaccinated. In fact, there's a lot of challenges with mandating employees to do anything, quite frankly. Any boss will tell you it's a lot more about persuasion than telling somebody to do something. And so trying to really incentivize people to get vaccinated, I think, is going to be a much more popular route than mandates. In terms of asking employees whether they've been vaccinated, that's also a really tricky question. And it's one that has to do with people's preferences about what they reveal about their personal information in the workplace. People have a lot of varied preferences around that. Some people really like to integrate their work and their family lives to reveal personal information in the workplace, talking to their colleagues about what's happened on the weekend or revealing it on their social media pages. Other people are much more private about that. And so, that general difference amongst people around their preferences for revealing personal information in the workplace really will play a big role here, I think, in people's comfort with revealing their vaccine status.
Professor, this gets to a really tricky issue, though. There are people who feel very strongly on both sides of this issue, those who think you absolutely have the right to find out if people around you have been vaccinated, others who say, forget it, this is my personal information. But by choosing this route, aren't employers basically siding with one side of the argument? And that's the argument who says, I shouldn't have to tell you anything.
So it's a great question. I think that there are ways to do this more privately, where you might want to take an employee aside and say, look, you have you been vaccinated, not doing it in a public way. And if you haven't, then we need to make alternative arrangements, right? Because we also have the safety of the people around us. And so I think if you're going to ask people to reveal what may be very private information, you want to make sure you do it in a way that they feel more comfortable, that information won't be shared broadly.
One problem with that, though, is this is the problem we've been dealing with through this whole pandemic, is not really knowing what's going on. You can point to schools, you can point to workplaces, and the information you get as somebody whose child is there or somebody who's sitting in a workplace is very vague. You never know who around you may or may not have been exposed. When a workplace says somebody's out, when they say that there's been COVID, you don't know what you are sending yourself into. And if you have people at home who are at risk, that raises lots of questions. I mean, this is not an issue that's the same as a seatbelt law where you're protecting yourself. In this situation, if you haven't gotten a COVID vaccine, you could be, as somebody sitting next to them, exposed to anybody who brings something into the workplace.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a public health issue, right? Which is why I think we're seeing a lot of the legal experts telling us that it may be legal to go with mandates. But I think that the issues here around public health and safety can be resolved in different ways. Vaccines are one solution. Other solutions are frequent testing and, making sure that you do contact tracing and the like. And so, and mask wearing. And so there are different solutions that can be pursued, rather than necessarily having people mandating a vaccine.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.